Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Castro here at YS Stocks and Options. And another week, right? Another beautiful week of trading, another beautiful week of investing, and another week of the market forecast here. Last week, I mentioned a trading idea that I was getting into, which is Delta Airlines. And I drew these support and resistance areas here for Delta Airlines. And what I shared with you guys that I was looking for Delta to test, right? 43.68, given the news that we touched on last week. If you want to check out that news, just look at the recap that we did for last week for the forecast. But I said that it was going to try to test 43.68, and I was buying puts, right? I was going to buy puts with a target price for $38.66. Amazingly, as you can see here, right? If you're seeing here, you can see that Delta Airlines hit our target, right? Boom, right? It went as low as here. So that was a successful trade. I actually made some nice little cash on this one last week. No, this one we also gave it to our community members, which they did fairly well, right? If you see on Facebook, you'll see that some of our members actually jumped on this particular trade here, and they're very happy with what the outcome of this particular trade was, right? So that's trading idea. Okay, now we're gonna go into the market, right? We're gonna look at each one of the indexes and see how they turned out, right? As far as our forecast last week and what we're seeing for the future, or at least this upcoming week, what we think is what the market's gonna do, right? But before we do that, right, I just want to show you guys something. This is another trade that we put out there for our community members as well, right? So every week we try to put a weekly play out there, at least a trading idea for June 1st. This one was lemonade. Strategy was 21 put, expiration 17 June. Some of our members jumped onto this one, right? We do a little technical analysis on it. As you can see here, right? Andrew closed this one 55% profits. This happened exactly to the T. Thanks, coach. Great stuff, right? Like this is real, right? Real people making great profits. 54% on this one, right? That was a great trade. Buford, he actually smashed it. Smash and grab at 50% in less than a day, right? So that's the type of trades that we like to get into. Again, very, very fruitful week last week for the Delta Airlines and also the lemonade play that we put out there. On our Facebook page, you will see that particular trade did amazing, right? And I'm going to show you guys here where we had a few folks, right, actually jump into the Delta play. I was actually in it, right? The trading idea itself, and it did really well, people. Really, really well. Let's see here. Of course, you guys know that you guys can find us on Facebook as well, right? And let's see here. Where's Delta Airlines, right? This is our page here. Look at that gentleman here, right? He says, shout out to D-Love. That's one of our coaches, and also myself for the call out on Delta Airlines, right? DAL Delta Airlines yesterday. He grabbed it 54% on this particular trade, right? So again, this is what we're doing for our members on a daily and weekly basis. Not only showing them plays that they can get into, right, but also making phenomenal profits on them on a daily and weekly basis, right? So let's go to it. So now let's take a look at the indexes, like I said. First, I'm going to go with IWM, right? The IWM, how did it do? For IWN itself, this is the forecast that we had for it, right? Let's see here. We kind of took this one a little bit higher, right? So we say IWN was going to test 192 shy, right? It only went as high as 188. So even though if you'd have bought this one on Monday, right, and traded it all the way for the week, right, it went as high as 188, right? A little bit farther out than what we expected. So this one wasn't too bad, right? So it didn't hit 192 for our trade in particular because we were just a little bit overzealous on this one, right? 188 was usually the target that I wanted to go for. And of course, as you guys can see, this is the longer trade here, right? This is the longer one for this upcoming week that we said that it was going to go to all the way to the June 15th timeframe to retest this area. But I'm gonna remove this here, right? I'm gonna remove this one here. Boom. And for the IWM here, right? A few things that I'm seeing. We know that we have support right here. We have support at 182.89. This here closing the bearish Harami, right? Bearish Harami, right? For the week. Look at that. We had sellers was actually in control of the market here. Again, bearish Harami here. So I'm gonna go here to say that we're gonna test or hit the mean 183, right? I'm going to go 183 on this one in particular, $183.13 for next week. Again, we got overzealous with the which in particular, so it didn't really pan out like we did, but it was close though. That's IWM again, 183 for IWM. So let's go to the next one. What are we seeing? Go with the Dow Jones Industrial for this one. Failure, right? Failure. We went a little bit too high on this one, right? Went to $337.79, right? We went a little bit too high on this one. It hit 132, right? So shy, $5 shy away from that. But again, buying this one on Monday, right? We would have bought this on Monday at 127. This is the 31st. You would have bought it on the 31st, right? It still went up, right? But this was not I think I went a little bit too high on this one in particular. So I thought it was going to go all the way here, but again, still went up, right? We said that if it reached, tested this resistance area here, we're going to see it come back to 325.18, right? I'm going to erase 325.18 here, right? And really examine this here, right? So we had a few things. That's the Dow Jones Industrial. Bearish Harami again, form right there, right? I'm not going to be overzealous with this one in particular trade, but I'm going to go here, right? We're going to go to 1, 2, 3, 326, right? 326.58. It's about $3. It's probably going to go, let's see. Let's see here. I'm going to go a little bit lower on this one in particular, right? I'm going to 125, right? 125. Even though we have support right here, I'm going to 125 this one, right? So we're talking about $4 on a downside, $4.49 for the downside, 1%. Right? Again, that's for the Dow Jones. Let's look at the Qs. So the Qs went to, my forecast for Qs was 318.67, right? It went to 314, right? As high as 314. Missed it by $4, right? Missed it by $4 on this in particular. Why did I do that? This one is I want to move. Missed it by $4. We see ourselves here in a bearish Harami again, forming right here, support, right? 304 being tested. And I'm going to say that we're going to try to close. There's a slight little gap right here, right? Slight little gap right here. So I'm going to go to this. Go to 301, right? It's $5.30, right? Go 301.41 on this one in particular. Right? 301.41. And reason being, when we look at this here, look at this. We got a sell signal right here, right? Sell signal on the CCI, right? Sell signal right here on the CCI. As you guys can look at the stochastics, right? Overbought territory looks to come down. We know this is a lagging indicator, but the CCI selling is here, bearish Arami forming. We look at the volume as well, right? So really anticipating and forecasting this when it comes to $301.41, right? I'm not gonna go overzealous like I did last week. Just gonna keep it simple. And so let's look at the S&P 500, SPY. I went crazy SPY too. It went to 417, right? And I went to 421 on it, right? So I was off on this one. Man, what's going on this week? Right. And then I say it was going to come down to 4617. So I'm going to take this out. Again, bearish Arami forming. We have support here. 47. Right. 47. I'm going to go as low as here, 405 on this one in particular. 405. 4534, right? Got a sell signal here again for the CCI. It looks very, very familiar like the Qs, right? Sell signal here with the CCI. Again, bearish Arami formed here, right? So anticipating this one going a little bit lower next week. The stochastic showing the same thing, right? So it's going to have to break 4.7. If it breaks 4.7, we can definitely see 4.534 easily early next week, right? Let's look at the VIX. We know that the VIX is a oscillator that's truly correlated with the S&P 500. And as you guys know, I mentioned that the VIX was going to test $24.52. Look at that, boom, right? Look at this, boom, spot on, right on the money, right? 24.52 is at 24.80. It closed at 24.80, but it hit there, right? Maybe not. Came very, very close to it, right? So this is a success here, right? And of course, I said that the VIX was going to continue to go up, right? I'm just going to move this placement here, right? I have the VIX going to 40 bucks. Well, that has not changed. Amazingly, we closed here it's a tombstone, right? Right, that's a tombstone here, or inverted hammer, whatever you want to call it, right? And this is an indication for a reversal, especially on a downtrend, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, right? 7 days of bearish sentiment, right? Going lower and lower and lower. And again, this is a key support level for, it's a key support level right here for the VIX, right? Look at that, it closed right there. So I'm anticipating, right, next week, right, when I say next week, testing 26, right, 15, and possibly again even going a little bit higher than that, right? But I'm going to go to 26.15 just to be conservative, right? As the inches continues to inch up, right? Again, I'm being conservative this week on these because I was a little bit aggressive as far as the price target for last week. So again, that's what we have for the week as far as the market is concerned. I myself, I will give you guys a trading idea that I'm looking into. So I really like this one in particular, lemonade, right? Lemonade. I've been trading this one week after week. This is like one of my favorite ones here. And this one in particular, I really like it because it's been in this channel for a while, right? This little channel right here. trading channel. All right. So I'm already in this play, of course. I'm looking to take profits around $19.70. If it goes even lower, that'll be amazing. But as you guys can see here, right, we had bearish sentiment. If we look at the weekly chart, right? Let's look at the weekly chart here. When we look at the weekly chart here, this closing a bearish engulfing candle. We had a hammer 2 weeks ago. Then we had a bearish engulfing here, right? So I'm really looking forward to the lemonade here testing. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go say it's gonna test $19, right? I'm looking forward for it to taste 19 bucks, right? It's not a big mover, right? That's about 90 cents to the downside, right? 90 cents to the downside. I think next week you definitely could do that. I'm still in it. So that's just a trading idea, right? It's to be a possible day trade, right? Possible day trade for us. So nice little swing trade. But of course, we got the futures that we could look into. Again, guys, that's us again, YS Stocks and Options. You know, letting you guys know, showing you guys what we see in the market. More importantly, sharing some trading ideas that can possibly be lucrative. We always say, you know, always practice logical emotions, trade responsibly, and more importantly, we'll see you guys at the finish line. Peace. If you're interested in joining our community, the information is on here. Our services are on as well. And right, great community teaching and coaching you guys with everything options and also long-term investors. Check us out. Peace and God bless.